This is one roller coaster of an update. Let's get into it, shall we?
Whisker Wave.
So, it's finally here. The update we've all been waiting for, me included. Now, I've got some choice words for a certain someone, but I really don't think we should get into that now. Let's talk about the stuff I actually like first. First of all, let's get into the unexpected star of this show, Dial the Pocket Watch. Dial is the latest non-playable tune, and if you know what that means, you're already quaking like bacon in your boots, but let's get to that later. Dial runs a shop across from Dandy, where he sells all the cosmetic items, taking the skins and new stickers from Dandy. Let me tell you, I love these stickers, but it was sad when Quell scrapped the one where Blot was dabbing. It would have been really funny to see in game. Anyways, other than stickers, and also a bunch of new skins for Boxin, Poppy, Sprout, Cosmo, and Yada. Question: why does Yada keep getting skins? She has the most skins in game at this point. Can the devs chill for a second? She's becoming the Sid Lesky of Danny's world with all these skins. Anyways, most of these skins look nice, especially with Poppy's pink skin, though I don't really like Cosmo and Sprout's matching skin set. Also, new skins means new optimizations, which everybody previously mentioned Yada excluded got. Everybody's new animations look decently good, except for Cosmo for some reason. His idle is fine, his walk and run though are a bit odd, in my opinion. Now, back to Dial. He's the newest lethal tuning game, and he has a pretty interesting mechanic. Dial's encounter is, like Dandy's, completely optional. There are 2 new cards in game, one for a new floor event, which I'll talk about later, and one for Dial himself, called Time's Up. If you and the rest of your team vote on it, it sends you to what I'm going to be calling the basement floor. The basement is it's fairly large, with my best estimate, or guesstimate maybe, being decently larger than the Easter event map. This floor also houses a staggering 25 machines. Yep, you heard me right, 25. If you're able to complete this floor, you and the rest of your team get a permanent leaf plus 50 maximum stamina for the rest of your run, which makes the challenge almost entirely worth it. Keyword, almost. There is one small caveat, and that would be Twisted Dial himself. So, as you probably already guessed, Twisted Dial is a lethal twisted, which means he one-taps you if he catches you, savory charm equipped or not. What makes him different from Dandy and objectively more dangerous and terrifying is his mechanic. Dial has an anger meter above his head, which fills the longer a tune is in his line of sight. The angrier he gets, the faster he runs. Scary, right? Now, what if I told you that this golden abomination of a Twisted at max anger is faster than Twisted Pebble? By a lot! He gets so fast to the point where only one tune can even think of distracting him, being Bassy with the Feather Duster and Bone. But unless you're the number 1 Bassy player in the world, or something else like that, there is no way you're pulling that off. All in all, encountering him is definitely worth it for the insane stamina buff. Just be ready to lose a few teammates in the process. Me personally, I love almost everything about Dial and his Twisted. The one thing I don't like though is his trinket, Train Whistle. All it does is make you immune to getting the slowness beat debuff. Are you kidding me? All of that trouble getting research on the most dangerous Twisted in the entire game so far, and all I get is a trinket that only counters 3 Twisteds. 3. Roger, Finn, V. That's it? Dandy Plush, the other lethal trinket, is borderline OP, which makes it worth getting the research for. But no, Dial gets a dinky little whistle that's only worth getting is bragging rights. There might as well be a straight t-shirt that says, I got 100% research on Twisted Dial, and all I got is a stupid t-shirt. Sorry. Anyways, let's move on before I start exploding again. Coming with this update is a new map for Sprout and Cosmo, being their picnic spot or whatever it's called. I'm not gonna go too deep into this because there's not all much to say, to be honest. It looks nice, though it does seem a bit anti-distractor, if you could call it that, because how open it is, and in fact there's only like 1 or 2 even spots to loop twisted around. Pretty cool map, decent addition to the game. Now, onto this is Brusha. She was the main thing teased in this update, other than the Sprout and Cosmo stuff. Let's go over her basic stuff first. Her stats? They're just Louie's stats. Listen, I know there's not too many ways to distribute 15 stars between 5 categories with a max of 5 stars in each, but really? Louie of all tunes. Anyways, so, her ability is Artistic Inspiration, which allows her to enter a mode that boosts the skill check of any tune around her in an unbearably short radius at the cost of a bit of her speed. This also, for some reason, has a 5-second cooldown between entering and exiting the mode. This sucks. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. This is a contender for one of the worst, most useless abilities in the game. It's only slightly saved by Peppermint Icing, which I'm decently sure was never intended to work with it. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna spoil it, but I'm decently sure it's probably gonna be patched by the time this video drops. Anyways, this ability is next to zero useless, and in my opinion, seems like an attempt to reuse code from Bobette's passive. Funny thing is, they use the same graphic for the radius indicator too. This would be slightly better if maybe her twisted was fun and unique, but no, it's another copy and paste. This one can see you a bit farther, chaser twisted. Not even her trinket was spared from the hammer of uselessness, doom, and despair, because all it is an objectively worse participation award. What are we doing? I know, I shouldn't be complaining. The fact that we're getting more content at all is all I need, but I just feel like Brusha as a whole was botched. It's a shame that a tune, which is literally item used for creativity, is an unoriginal mess. There were so many cool ideas for her and her twisted, but what we got in the end was just not in my opinion. Alright, let's just move on to the last few bits of the update. Regarding the new machine type, I like them. I was expecting something completely different looking, but for what it is, it works. And the new skill check is in my opinion decently fun. The new floor event, the Echo Leak, is more of a slight annoyance than an outright danger to a run, which, in all fairness, makes sense. Not every event needs to be a direct hazard, but it really feels like it's too easy to ignore in a way. Other than the sound effect that lets you know it's happening, that, might I add, sounds way too similar to the sound effect that Twisted Block makes. It's not all too present on whatever floor you're on. Even the new debuff you get from stepping into the Ichor Puddle's illness isn't all too bad, as all it does is make your skill check a decent bit smaller, which, for tunes who aren't usually used for extraction, doesn't really do anything. It's not a bad idea, but like some other things with the rest of this update, it could have been implemented better. Also, one quick last thing, I've heard the word from a baby bird that certain tunes are actually immune to the Ichor Puddles. Connie, Blot, and Flutter specifically. With all that said and done, I think this update, though I have several grievances with the content we got, is overall amazing. I don't think I have anything else to say. Oh, drink some water, make sure you tell your parents you love them, unless you don't for some reason, and have a nice day. Later!